So I think the big difference between the console wars of the 80s and 90s, the ones between Sega and Nintendo, and the console wars of today between Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo as well, the big difference is that back in the day, it really was like the wild, wild west. These were the lawless days of the industry. They were writing the rules as they went along. It wasn't even an industry at the time. It was just sort of this growing hobby. And for that reason, they were able to take a lot more risks, and they were also able to do a lot of things that you probably wouldn't be able to get away with today. And I think that really makes the story a lot more compelling, because it's sort of that idea of they're creating this industry and they're this train on the tracks and they're putting the tracks down in front of them as they go along. And the other thing with today is that the games today are extraordinary, the graphics are incredible, but what goes into that is a much larger financial investment, and you can't afford to take as many risks, whether it be marketing or product development. It's going to be a little bit more like the Hollywood model of bigger tentpole games. There's not going to really be those niche hits and the big risks that Sega and Nintendo took all the time to first establish themselves and then to succeed. Another thing that's been really interesting to me while researching and writing console wars is that the games that I was looking at, these 8-bit and 16-bit games, are actually not all too different from the games that you find in the App Store on iTunes. And I think that that says a lot about the way that we think about and appreciate games. So, it's not always about having better graphics and bigger explosions. It's about just the gameplay value, and that doesn't always take a big budget to accomplish. And there is some joy to be found in good, more simplistic gameplay, and that's why you're seeing sort of the growing trends in the video game world towards PC gaming and towards the apps like Angry Birds and Candy Crush.